Hi, welcome to your #1 aviation and tourism TV show, Mamaj TV. My name is Joy Ugbebo. Welcome to your #1 aviation travel and tourism TV show, Mamaj TV. My name is Joy Ugbebo. Today on our show, as usual, we have another exciting episode. We are right here at the 28th annual conference of the League of Airport and Aviation Correspondents. Today we shall be joining airline executives and stakeholders in the industry as they unveil the many challenges in the industry, as well as profess solutions to these challenges. So we invite you to join us for the conversations.
The League of Airports and Aviation Correspondents held the 28th edition of the annual conference on July 26, 2024 at the Providence Hotel, GRA Ikeja. At this year's conference, focus was on the industry's survival and sustenance.
We are in difficult times. We are in a state of hyperinflation and significant currency devaluation in an industry that pays its bills in dollars and earns almost all of its income in naira. The inputs required for production have been impacted by multifold increases, while the marketplace demands a capping of revenues, which we have often heard and have heard tonight or this morning at high fares. The marketplace isn't just the consumers or passengers, but the basic demand and supply dynamics where the market's clearing price is impossible to achieve both for buyer and seller. There are no exceptions to the challenges facing the aviation industry. Not just airlines. If airlines are faced with huge costs from all service providers, and as you've heard this morning, there's a need to increase these charges. And airports are equally faced with what they deem, and many will agree, are unnecessary charges. The rest of the industry are economic players, and the difficulties bite everyone. If we examine aviation fuel, for example, which was spoken about this morning, which is probably the highest cost component in the airline business, we notice that the prices keep rising.
The discussants highlighted domestic airlines and aviation industry challenges and professed solutions to the sector's troubling trends. This year's event was chaired by the Chief Executive Officer, founder of SITA Group, Dr. Famous Ogubagbi.
Focus must be on stimulating economic growth and activities that will in turn boost demand for air travel. This requires a concerted effort from all stakeholders, including the government, private sectors, and international partners. Our industry stands at crossroads, facing significant challenges, but also tremendous opportunity for growth and transformation also at hand.
The MD of NAMA, Engineer Umar Farouk, was keynote speaker.
In Nigeria, the situation is further compounded by economic volatility, unprecedented high in fuel prices, and currency instability. These factors, combined with high operating costs, have put significant pressure on our aviation sector. As we navigate these turbulent times, it is imperative that we adopt innovative and sustainable strategies to ensure the survivability and growth of our industry. Strategies for survival and growth, operational efficiency, and cost management.
Other discussants were the acting DG of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, who was represented by Engineer Yusuf Iyitayo.
To survive in this challenging environment, we must prioritize our operational efficiency and cost management. This involves streamlining our processes, optimizing resource allocation, and embracing technologies that enhance efficiency. The aviation industry requires a collaborative approach to operational efficiency and cost management. At the Nigerian Air Transport Agency, we are committed to continuously improving our air traffic management system to ensure safe, efficient, and cost-effective operations. Embracing innovation and technology.
FinchGlow MD and CEO, Mr. Bernard Bankole.
Without sufficient attention on data, I don't see aviation industry going far. And I say this with every sense of humility. At every point in time, and you can put this to test, when you speak with different agencies, they've got different data.
Mr. Remy Chibudu, acting COO of Courtney Airline Services Limited, while former MD of Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, Captain Hamisu Yadudu, moderated the session. Dr. Alex also presented a paper at the conference.
The industry has proposed importing fuel, but this, like many proposals, represents a poorly thought through process that fails to address the real issues. Unfortunately, it appears that there are limited things the aviation sector can do. It neither controls nor appears to have any input into monetary or fiscal policy, apart from how the issue of payments to foreign airlines were handled, without any real words on solutions for domestic airlines.
Meanwhile, the Aviation and Aerospace Development Minister, Festus Keyamo, who led major stakeholders, airline operators, agency executives at this brainstorming session, highlighted some of the industry challenges and the efforts being made to support the operators and the upgrading of the sector holistically.
So please, we are going to urge the world to come and invest in Nigeria and MROs. We are pushing for it. It's going to be one of our major objectives to bring in the MROs into Nigeria. In so doing, the capacities of our local operators will be enhanced in the country. There are SOBC checks and checks. But most importantly, if you notice, there is a shortage of aircraft in Nigeria to send schools. That's, I think, the major problem of this. The local operators are struggling to cover their growth. People look at it, not to talk about international routes. Air France is coming here 10 times a week. We are not going to Paris. Lufthansa is coming here. We are not going to Frankfurt. Delta, United, is coming from America. Nobody is going to America. Even here, South Africa is coming here. South Africa is nobody is going to South Africa. We only managed to get the London representative for Airpeace, and we are pushing also for them to take us to Heathrow now. We're pushing. We won't see how much we're doing about that, but we want to bring the fund to them. We're writing a letter to the counterparts in the UK. You can't tell me that you have a sports committee. If you concession your airports to people, they should know that you have existing occupations in that airport. That you should respect those existing occupations in that capacity. If you give us our tier 1 airports, if we give you our tier 1, you should give us your tier 1 airports. You know, we are not going to somewhere.
However, it was an opportunity to exchange ideas with stakeholders, airline operators, business owners, and others on how the country's aviation sector can survive amidst the prevailing macroeconomic environment. Dr. Alex Umoba speaking to Mamaj TV at the conference.
This is not the first time we've come to this kind of forums. We discuss and we talk. What do you think we can do realistically to really move the aviation industry from where it is to where it ought to be?
In all my interviews, I've been asked the same question. And my answer is do the do. Simply do the do. We know what the problems are. And you know, I said when I was making my presentation that I'm here to speak to the problems because that's what I was asked to, identify the problems. Nobody said to me, identify the solutions. So we can always do that. But even with the problems, if once we identify, you know, they say understanding the problem is halfway to solving the problem. We understand the problems. We've always understood the problems. The question is, are we willing to move from meandering to facing the solutions head on? And that's simply what we have to do. Let us face the solutions head on. We know what the problems are. Wages are down. Costs are up. How do we expect growth in the aviation sector? So aviation is not in a cocoon. It is a component of the overall economy. So we must improve the overall economy. And I just said in my last interview, let Nigerians breathe, as we say. We need food. When we have enough food and we are strong enough to work harder, to produce more, we will fly. It's not impossible. But, like I also said, the same 5%, you know, we have pricing elasticity in the market. No matter how you raise the fares, the same people that used to travel will travel. Government officials will spend government money at any price. Corporate organizations that are doing well, financial institutions, for example, will fly. And so those are the people supporting the same 5% that have always been in the market at the same 5%. What we need to do as an industry is grow those numbers. And the only way we're going to grow those numbers is to grow the economy and deal, of course, with the aviation-related issues.
Thank you very much. The aviation-related issues are actually enormous.
Correct.
How do we start to address them? For example, capacity building. As an aviation career development advocate, that is an area that I've seen that there are challenges. How do you think we can address the issue of capacity building? Because aviation is growing. Technology is gradually coming in to play a very vital role in aviation. How do you think we can help to build capacity to improve manpower, impending manpower gaps in the industry?
Thank you. I spoke to students a few months ago on the future of jobs in the aviation industry. And you find that adults really don't know what the future looks like. We're still looking at the same pilot configuration, cabin crew configuration, engineering configuration, sorry. But the truth is that the industry is evolving, you know. We have a future where the pilot will announce to you that he just woke up from bed, he's sitting at the side of his airplane, and he's wishing you all a safe flight. That's where we need to train our kids in the future. Automation will play an increasing role. But there's also a process to build that automation. So we need to train people in the appropriate careers for the future of aviation, which is not the same as it is today. So while we need engineers, we need different types of engineers because automation will play a greater role in the engineering components. Airplanes like cars will tell you what their problems are. They'll be self-diagnosing. We need engineers that can design those systems and manage those systems. That's where the training has to go to. We have the pilots, like I said, that would be flying from home, you know, rather than in the aircraft. What are the skill sets required for that? That's where we need to train. We need the human factor. We need the air traffic. We need the airport counter representatives that will interact with artificial intelligence and automation. We have cabin crews, the ever-smiling persons on board who provide comfort and, more importantly, security and well-being. We think they only bring tea and coffee on board, serve only tea and coffee, but those are your safety officers. We need them to train in the right configuration. So we need to develop capacity that is relevant for the future, not for the present. And we're not yet thinking about those. We're still thinking, as we will, while others are going digital, we remain in our current state of thinking that things, analog, thinking that things will remain the same. But we certainly need to change our ways. But we are not even solving the analog problems. We're not looking at pilot capacity. Currently, there's over 700,000 pilot shortages, hundreds of thousands of air traffic controller shortages, thousands and thousands of air cabin crew shortages, and there's very little training, or even those that are trained are not getting the opportunity to build skills. That's already happening. And then we are moving towards an integrated marketplace like the single air traffic transport market and the African Continental Free Trade Area, where jobs are so so easily movable that if Rwanda gets it right, all the Nigerian pilots and cabin crew will go to Rwanda Air because the entire region will be one huge domestic market, and which is a strategic disadvantage for Nigeria. So Nigeria needs to look very critically and understand truly what the future holds and prepare ourselves for that future.
Thank you very much. The last question, despite the problems and challenges of the industry, do you see a vibrant aviation industry in the nearest future?
Well, you know, one of the things that you must give Nigerian aviation is that its capacity to adapt. We have been through challenges. Most economies, aviation industries would have collapsed. Shortage of dollars. And that's why I address the fact that the Civil Aviation Authority is now willing to have a conversation on other types of aviation models that would wake up our defunct and what we call unviable airports, making it easier, for example, to travel from Warri to Calabar, Warri to Port Harcourt, all those things, Kaduna to Enugu. That's the kind of model that is sustainable and would address the fact that maybe 6 out of 30 airports are viable at the current time, and we're still building more airports. So a reconfiguration is possible. Nigerian aviation is highly adaptable and very survivable. We're just going through the challenges of adjusting to the times we find ourselves, and I'm hopeful that this industry will grow and survive.
This annual seminar over the years has made significant impact in the Nigerian aviation sector.
Well, I hope you found the discussions today by the different speakers quite enlightening, and also the various suggestions as to how to move the industry from where it is today, how airlines can overcome the numerous challenges, and what actions we can take to move aviation from where it is to where it should be. Aviation in Nigeria needs to be more vibrant, and the only way we can achieve that is by coming together as we have done today to discuss the issues and as well prefer realistic solutions. This is where we come to the end of our show today. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.